Hey guys, so welcome to part 6. I feel like these videos have been getting a little bit better quality as they progress. We've had some bad ones, but I can't really redo them, and I don't really know until they're already done. There's no reshooting because I've already built it. So yeah, that's why I had to leave them in there. Sorry about the bad apples. Hopefully this one won't be so bad. Anyway, yeah, time for the first test. Well, we're preparing for that. We still need some fundamental controls. We need electricity, and then we can start spawning it and getting in and taking a look at it. So first control is we need buttons to get in, like just the basic bare minimum controls. Notice how I haven't sealed the con tower to the rest of the boat? Some people do that. I don't know why. I know it's realistic. I know they really do that. But there's no reason to do it. Now, if you hear me out, you're thinking, hold on, the con tower is basically just an airlock. But then you gotta think, you're only using an airlock when you're underwater, right? Well, if you're underwater, you can't push exhaust out or water out. Meaning, if you did use it as an airlock, you wouldn't be able to drain it. And having a central bilge pump system is more effective, more efficient, and space efficient, really. Having just a central, that's probably what we're going to put under the stairs here. We'll have a central bilge pump system right there. I might even hook that up before we do our test. I don't know. It wouldn't be that hard. We'll just have it come out the back here. Probably move it down one. Yeah, right there. We put our pipe straight. And because we've got so much room in here, we'll put the pumps in here. The village pumps are to get any random excess water out when you're on the surface. Notice how I haven't added ballasts. And you've probably been thinking about this the whole time I've been building. There's no ballasts. There's no ballasts. I know. You don't need them. There's room for them. We might add them. But they're not going to do us any good unless we were carrying cargo. And we aren't. This isn't a cargo submarine. And we're not here to do any huge lifting. They could be useful if we made our submarine super buoyant. And then weighed it down to neutral buoyancy. And then slipped up under a boat. You could lift it up. But we don't really... This isn't built for that. And it wouldn't really work that well. Again, exploratory. So, we really are going to probably spawn it mostly neutral. Also, these are backwards. So that's why you notice a sheer lack of ballasts. Because neutral buoyancy is nice because you can have it so the con tower just sits right over the waves. And then just go. You don't have to fill them, don't have to count them. Because people, if it was just me driving this boat, I would add them. And I would know exactly where to put them, which number they like to sit at. But it's not. It's other people are going to be in here too. And they don't know the magic numbers, and I don't think they really want to spend all their time looking for them. So I'm just going to build this at its magic number, where it's just right, and then you just take off, like that. No worries, no hassles. Start the engine, turn the lever forward, and you're going. Just bring the nose down to go down. Another thing we'll need to add, gyro. This, see, you're thinking, it's a damn submarine, you don't need a gyro, but you do. They are, well, let's actually use this space to filter. Let me flow valve it. Submarines are just like planes, and they're a little different. And the difference is why you need a gyro. Some people make their planes with gyros, me. Some people don't. Regardless of which side you're on for that, you need a gyro for a submarine, like this. This is supposed to be a first-person, instrument-only submarine experience. Meaning, it needs to be able to be driven, first-person on just the instruments given. And personally, I like to be able to walk away from the controls and not constantly hammering up and down and up and down and up and down, trying to get it to balance out. Because it never will, because it'll be slightly off. But a gyro will mean that we can go put the nose down and go down, and then let go, and it will level at that height. And that's really important for this, because we want it to be as easy to control in first person as possible. Also, I've colored this pipe wrong. Let's make it yellow. Village pump system, so it'll be yellow. It's kind of important, you know. It's not super important, but it's kind of important. And then I'm going to break one of my rules here, but I don't think it matters much because it's only the bilge pumps. But if they don't work, we will have to redo this probably. But I'm going to pump after the flow because it still should work. But hopefully it won't matter. So there's the bilge pumps, and then we'll need our fluid meter. Always be careful when you put in a fluid meter or spawner and like a gas tank or something when you put it on the floor of it. Because if you ever go in later and you're like, oh, I want to put a decal on the bottom of my boat and just grab it and just like, and just get rid of the whole thing, then you'll think you've gotten rid of nothing important, but you've actually just cleaned out the spawners, and you'll be like, why won't my boat start? Yeah, see, I've done it here too, but you just gotta be careful about that. I've done that a good few times. Okay, so now we need our circuit breaker. Because even though they're rarely used, they still are necessary in submarines. Because megalodons. So that means we need to locate our main control console. So we will be using a compact pilot seat to drive this. We could use a helm, but I find the seat giving me a lower position, it makes it more tactile. I can get to everything a little bit easier, seeing everything, got a wider range of view, whereas the helm takes up a lot of my view, even though it would be more realistic on a submarine. Well, let's see, because I want it right there. That looks good. And then we're gonna have the two walkways. Actually, we might only have one. We'll have instruments on the walls, instruments on the roof, instruments all in front of them, and then there'll be like a crouch-sized hatch that'll lead you to the front nose. And that'll probably just be like storage of some sort. Alright, so let's build this up. So, dig this out now. So this is our main view. This is going to have the submarine proximity warning system on it. This is also... Ooh, I need to mention that. Yeah, we're installing that in this submarine. I'll be showing all that stuff too. I won't show you how to build it, because it's actually rather complicated, but I'll show you how to install it. So anyway, this will have the front view and the submarine warning system. Then we'll have angled screens all along the roof here, roof line, like a dome of angled screens. That'll have Lua submarine controls, and then some other stuff. And then on the side here we'll have 3 levers: throttle, clutch and reverser, and air consumption. Throttle is pretty much, you want to leave that on all the time. Clutch and reverser is for, of course, turning around. The reason it does both is that it basically makes it impossible to kill the engine with quick reverse. Like, some people, you're full throttled across the water and you push reverse and it makes the engine stall out. Well, this prevents that. It's impossible, because to reverse, basically you pull it back and it goes from 1 to -1. And so all the way at 1 is moving forward at full clutch. 0 is no clutch, and then once you pass 0, going negative, the reverse engages if the number's negative. So it engages right at 0, but at 0 you have 0 clutch, and then it slowly engages the clutch now that you're reversed. Disengages the clutch before you switch off the reverse, then engages it again. It's a quick little system to get it all worked out. So we'll have 3 levers. They'll be over here, they'll be angled too, but for the moment we only need one thing. Little circuit breaker. Actually, we might do something like I did in the other one. So we need At least this is flat here, so we can do 1, 2, 3. You'll see what I'm doing here in a moment. We'll have instruments on each side of this display, and then we'll have instruments on these little columns. These rotated columns. I really liked them in my last build, and I will be continuing to do things I like. Okay, you know what? I can do this and this, and have 2 rotated columns. Make it different, you know. Everything but the submarine it's similar to the other one, but it's a little bit different. It's better, I think. Maybe it's not as complicated in the engine room. The air stuff is a lot more complicated than the yellow one, simply because it has more exhaust system things. It's got a ridiculous exhaust system in the other one that I don't even fully understand, so I'm not going to tutorial it, but what I can tutorial is what I can tutorial, what I can't is what I can't, so I'll do my best. Okay, so basically this one will rotate at, let's see, that's going to be 0.25 and then 0.5. We'll try it and see what happens. Also, tip, color your things. This is 0.25 and this one's 0.5. Now we know, because you can see it when you go here. So now when I come back later and I need this, I know exactly which one's which. 0.25s go here. And this is 0.5. Alright, so now we're going to build up these columns. There will be more instruments, like buttons and things on these. For the moment, we'll just build them up empty. Like this whole console here will have instruments, down here we'll have instruments. We'll have levers everywhere, and we'll have the angled screens, but for the moment we're just going to worry about the columns, just because that's where the circuit breaker goes. The circuit breaker should be pretty accessible, because if it does get tripped, which is pretty rare, again, but if it does get tripped, you want to be able to get it without having to get up and go around, because your boat could go completely dark in the time that you can't do anything. So now, circuit breaker, time to do the first level of electric. So, again, another really important thing. Some people do what I like to call shitty electric. They just connect everything in random sequence. Don't do that. Parallel. Don't do sequence. Sequence is like one thing follows the other. Parallel means every single thing has a direct connection to the source. And it doesn't take that much longer, and it will save you so much time. And don't do sequence even at first, because then you will never go back and fix it, and then you just have a less capable machine. Because if one piece of the sequence gets damaged, then the rest of the sequence falls out of play, and the power is less. There's less power being transmitted through the system. Of course, in our first test today, we won't be actually turning on the engine because we don't have any of our pump controls in. But we will do that eventually. The pump controls probably are going to be in the next video. They seem horribly intimidating, but they really aren't. They are not that bad. You just, as long as we did all of our piping right, we labeled it all right, it'll be as easy as hooking up two systems. One for dive breathe, one for surface breathe. Hopefully. Also, the generator goes on the main line too, because it needs to travel to the battery. And if you just hook it to the same side, it won't actually go to the battery. It'll just power the systems. independently. Because we want the generator to actually fill the battery, because that's how our system is listening to it all. Alright, let's do the battery side. And as we do this, try to be careful. It's not the end of the world if you do make one stray connection and the two sides connect. It won't hurt anything, but you won't be able to kill the power. So try to make sure that the batteries are very separate. They don't, nothing else. You try not to cross the two sides. Every time you add a feature from now on, you gotta remember to add power. So now let's see here. So we've got the system to get in, and system to turn on power. Let's see how the buoyancy is. Let's save real quick. Here we go. Okay, that's good. We've got a lot to work with here. Remember what I said earlier, where the whole belly of that thing, all those pipes down there, I said, wow, this is complicated and all, but that's going to be full of weights once we're done. Because you got to weigh your submarine down from the bottom. Ooh, we forgot to set it to default on. See how easy that getting down here was, though? Let's turn on the power. So, this is not right. It should probably be like 0.5 and 1. You see, so these are push. What? Oh, it goes so far out of my range, it stops pushing it. Hop in here. I could go to sleep. Wake. The medical bed is here in case someone was on a mission and they couldn't sleep, or else it would ruin their time. So you see, we can still get through here. We just have to crouch. Another thing to check is to get up here. Rub your head against these walls. See if you get a, if it acts like you're in the water. If it does, and this will be a bigger problem later on that you can fix, you want to rub your head against all these angled walls. Make sure there's no glitches. If there are, you just flatten the wall out and it will go away. But you want to have a safe environment inside your sub, if possible. Like that. Alright. Let's see how the getting out goes. So I try to go this way, then I go this way, then I go this way. I open the hatch. So that's no good. If I open the hatch before I go. Ooh, that's bad. Okay. Let's fiddle with this. I think what I need is that. That should help. Let's hook up some more systems. So, one we've already hooked up is this light system on the side of the submarine, and I haven't tested it because it's not been powered. Oh yeah, and also we need to increase these values by double. That, and then we need a button now for our lights. And so now we need to make some decisions. Prioritizing our axis. Our main priority, these consoles here are going to have our big priority things on them, and then lower priorities are probably going to go down like here. And then I like to make it so the very bottom priority typically go to the keybinds on the seat. But that's usually not because I try to do that. It's usually because I just try to avoid using the seat keybinds altogether. Especially in a first-person submarine. So, we'll be using instrument panels especially for the lights. This is the Far Cry 5 music. Is that cult music? Whatever it is. Alright, so these this is another thing. I don't think I put this in one of those packs, but everyone should have these. little instrument panel converters. There's some on them that do all of it. I wouldn't recommend those. I recommend getting ones that do just one so that you can keep them pretty compact. As you see, this is supposed to be very compact logic because we have a lot of logic coming. So this is going to read from, this will be the bottom panel. This will be our lights panel because it's very out of the way down here. So we need to decide what our lights are going to be. The other submarine I had a Lua light system. I think for this one we'll just do the standard flip switch light system. Spotlights are number 1. We'll install our interior lights in the next video. Actually, you know, we'll just do these for now. Spotlights, remember flip switch number 1. So we go to here, output number 1. Oh yeah, but you remember, we don't have to do that. We just have to hook it to that. And now they're ready. See that clean look that it has when the thing is just the right height? And it's like, you still have to climb up here, but you see that the ports all along the side. So we can still get down. How's the getting up and getting out? If I come here and I just jump out, yes. Then I can quickly just drop down like that, and I'm in. Ooh. Close. These are really close to how I like them. These need to be 0.7. So you see right now, the spotlights just look like this. Really hard to capture. They switch so fast though. Like literally you blink and you miss it. Ready? Push this. And now they are lights. They roll over. They're rollout lights. Pull it like this, try to go out fast to see it, but you've already missed it because that pivot goes super fast. It's like you never even knew they were doing that. The idea of the system is A, to look really, really cool, and B, it actually does serve a purpose. It protects the lights from damage, especially with collisions. Not to say that it wouldn't, but little collisions, you know, just bumping into things, it'll help. Anyway, I think we've had a long enough video today. I'll get to you guys. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this helps.